What's up YouTube, it's GatorGuy108, and this is a video pretty much of my rundown of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Shonen Jump thing going on in Chicago this weekend. I'm pretty much just going to go through and say my feelings about the whole event and like what decks are going to really do good and which ones will just do okay. So yeah, I'm just going to start off on this. First two decks that I'm going to show are the decks that I'm most confident that they will do really well. Is Infernities and X-Sabers. First off, we'll talk about X-Sabers. X-Sabers are great because they are a swarm deck, of course. Any deck that's a swarm deck is always a good swarm deck. I mean, is always a good deck. Like, basically, they could gain advantage from, like, pretty much spamming Dark Soul and just get every X-Saber that they need. And then you know that you just swarm, you bring out like Bogart Knight, like Airbellum, and then like Fall Troll, and then that's pretty ridiculous. Like, then you pretty much just get some synchros out and just like attack for game. It's like a really good deck, and it's pretty hard to stop, really consistent. So yeah, X-Sabers, and then of course Infernities with their stupid OTK. This deck is also really consistent like X-Sabers, but this deck is a little easier to stop because like DD Crow and that stuff, but it's still a really threatening deck, and I think it will do very well also. So those are like my two. I'm pretty confident that those two decks will do really good. And then like kind of tier 1.5 or decks that will still do pretty good is Frog Monarchs. Of course, it's a really stupid deck in my opinion. You could basically just dump every tribute fodder that you could want, and then just spam big monsters like Monarchs or Line Darnish or any of that. So it's a pretty good deck, but I don't know. I think these decks are better than it. This deck can be inconsistent. Like if you don't draw Monarchs, you lose. So it's kind of iffy. If you could pull it off, though, that deck's really deadly. I think I'm really confident that GBs will do really well because, in my opinion, this deck does good against all three of those decks. Of course, Chariot stops all of those combos. This deck is so good against Frog Monarchs. Like, if you get a Chariot, you basically win. You negate all of their Monarchs, you attack, you remove their Treeborns and all this stuff. Like, they can't really do anything against GBs, so yeah, so those two decks will do pretty good, but in my opinion, they can't really do better than X-Sabers or Infernities. Quick Draw Plants, a favorite deck of mine. I really like the deck, but it's not fast enough. It can't really deal with the swarming abilities of these two decks. It's still a really good deck, and of course, it's possible to win. This format is freaking ridiculous, but still really confident in those two. But Quick Draw is always good. It gets advantage, like it slowly gains advantage, but it starts off losing advantage, which is kind of bad. But yeah, it's still pretty good. Get it right in the glare. Blackwings kind of like faded away, I guess you could say, but it's always a good deck. The power of them being able to be like annoying and being able to swarm is always like really good. Like, you could swarm and then flip over oppression and lock down your opponent, so that's really good. So yeah, but they're kind of with the tier with plants. With Quick Draw Plants, they're just okay. Then some other decks, Machinas. They're seeing less play now, but Machinas are just okay. It might get lucky and top the championship again. I doubt it, though. It's just like people are not playing it like they used to be. Like it's all about those decks now, and this deck is pretty good against the Monarch deck, but I don't know. You're just not seeing it being played a lot. Light Swarms, the Luxac deck. It's still a very, very good deck. You could still win with it. 2 Judgment Dragons and 3 Wolves is still really, really good. Like, we might see Light Sword on top because it is a very good deck, very deadly. Like, they could just gain advantage out of nowhere. It's kind of stupid. Then anti-meta decks, you know, they always have potential in any championship, but problem with anti-meta decks is they have to try to stop all of these decks, which is very, very difficult for them. Of course, Oppression does a great deal of that, and there's some other cards that could do that for him. And then Synchro Cat variant, or like Flameville Cat, or one or the other. It's just an okay deck, but in my opinion, too slow. It can't really deal with like those three decks. You can't just do much about it. So yeah, that was the video. I'm pretty sure I covered every deck. I'm not really sure. There's so many decks this meta, I can't really keep up with it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me what you think will top. Put it down in the comments below for you guys. I'm pretty interested on what you guys think. And yeah, of course you could check out the coverage on YugiOhCard.com and just keep up with that. And I'll probably have a video after the championship telling you what happened and how I feel about it. So yeah, that was it. Comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. Peace.